Hi, Jay Fallon here. Thanks for listening to The Slippery Slope. Sorry, I have had to have a few days off from recording and doing things. I've had a busy schedule in my other life. So anyway, back to it. A story that I had to talk about just quickly. This will only be short, but actually amazes me what's going on here. Still, what I believe are the lies that are being spread about COVID, about the medications that were all, well, people tried to force everyone to take things like this, and yet, they're still out there sprouting off propaganda, trying to get people to believe the hype. And here we have this medication here that hasn't quite worked out well for anyone. So it would seem. I'll bring the story up so you can all follow. The headline says, "Oops, a study shows the new COVID pill is actually mutating the virus." That's not good news for anyone, is it? So it goes on to say, a new peer-reviewed study says Merck's COVID-19 pill, Lagevrio, can mutate the coronavirus. Merck claims the study is circumstantial and lacks proof. So they claim it's circumstantial, lacks proof. However, when other people point out that maybe there's not enough studies done on the needle that everyone's being trying to force to have, then it's okay, even though they lacked proof that it actually worked. The effectiveness of COVID-19 drugs is often less than initially claimed, according to updated information. So instead of stopping COVID-19, Merck's Lagevrio, is that how you pronounce it? Drug may actually help mutate the virus, according to a new non-peer reviewed study. Researchers from the US and the UK, including the Francis Crick Institute and Imperial College London, say that the drug's purpose of mutating the COVID genome to restrict the virus from spreading within a patient may create more mutations of the virus that can then pass to other people. Well, gee, who could have seen that coming? Using a drug like Lagevrio to switch up the genetic code of the virus may not always be a great idea, according to the study authors. Jonathan Lee, a virologist at Harvard Medical School and Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, tells Bloomberg there's always been this underlying concern that it could contribute to a problem generating new variants. This has largely been hypothetical, but this preprint validates a lot of those concerns. I love the way that, okay, kudos for him for actually saying it out loud, but I love the way it's largely been hypothetical. It's funny because there's a lot of lay people and a lot of other doctors and nurses and whatnot out there who've been saying that this will and is actually happening, and yet they keep saying, well, it's largely being hypothetical, but it does validate these concerns. Yes, all the people that they labeled as crazy may have actually been, maybe anyway, I won't say too much. So Merck isn't impressed. A spokesman for the company tells Bloomberg there is no evidence, no evidence, because they always want to pull out the evidence when it suits them. There's no evidence to indicate that any antiviral agent has contributed to the emergence of circulating variants. It's all just circumstantial, isn't it? And the study offers only circumstantial associations for the viral sequence origin. Circumstantial or not, the researchers made the tie. It appears that people are being treated. Some of them aren't clearing their infections, and some are passing them on. Theo Sanderson, a study leader, tells Bloomberg. Because of the drug-linked mutations, Merck's Lagevrio pill is too much of a risk, says a Stanford University antiviral drug researcher who consulted with the authors. It's a very distressing situation. There's no evidence that any of these mutants is worse in any way, not yet, but it's well agreed that you're playing with fire if you're creating random mutations and hoping nothing bad will come of it. So there you go. That's, oops, Doesn't the title, the headline say it all? Oops, new COVID pill is actually mutating the virus. That seems like how the attitude of all these big companies has been over the last couple of years. It's just like they're practicing. They're just taking pot shots with the human genome, with our health, and hoping, while they're handing out all these pills and the needles and all the jabs, all everything like this, and while they're making multi-billion and billion-dollar deals with governments, the CEOs, the CFOs, the directors, and all that, the shareholders, they've all got their hands behind their back with their fingers crossed, saying, yeah, we'll take your money with one hand, and we're crossing our fingers that this actually works, because we don't really know, because the whole thing is still an experimental drug. And I know there's circumstances, okay? There's circumstantial evidence, but it's just circumstantial evidence. When we've got greater number of people of dying around the world from heart instances, it's just circumstantial evidence. People, don't overreact. The worst thing that can happen is you may die. But they've made lots and lots of money. But hey, that's just my opinion. Please let me know what you think, and thank you for listening to The Slippery Slope.